Let me guess. You've tried to save money. You looked at your budget, and your brain went, there's nothing left to cut. Cool. Today I'm going to show you 10 simple cuts that can free up $500 a month without living like a mop can. I'll prove it by stacking small wins that actually stick. And near the end, I'll share a 2-question test that instantly tells you what to cut first even if you hate budgeting. Welcome back to the Fiscal Fixer Guide to Mastering Money and Mindset. If your budget is tight, saving $500 sounds impossible because you're picturing one huge sacrifice. But real savings usually come from leaks, recurring charges, convenience spending, small treats, and quiet upgrades that happened over time. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't need more discipline. You need a system. So today, I'm giving you a framework I call the $500 stack. Instead of hunting for one giant cut, we'll stack 10 simple cuts across 4 categories: recurring costs, food, transportation, and lifestyle triggers. You do 3 to 5 of these, and most people get close to $500. Do 6 to 8, and you can usually pass it. And if your budget already feels stretched, you're not bad with money. Life got more expensive, and most budgets weren't built for that. First up, recurring costs, the quiet thieves. Most people don't have a spending problem. They have an auto-renew problem. Here's what you do today. Open your bank app and scan for repeating monthly charges. Cancel anything you haven't used in the last 30 days. If you might use it later, don't keep paying. Cancel it now and reactivate when you actually need it. Pause for a second if you can. Open your bank app after this and bookmark the first subscription you're canceling. Next, pick one bill to tackle: internet, mobile, insurance, or even your streaming bundle. Call and say, "Hi, I'm reviewing my monthly expenses. I'm considering switching. What's the best rate you can offer, or a cheaper plan that still meets my needs?" If they offer nothing, ask, "Is there a loyalty discount, a retention offer, or a lower tier without extras?" And if negotiating feels awkward, remember, you're not begging, you're shopping. Now, watch out for bills that look small but are expensive over time. A lot of services are designed to hide because they're just $9.99. Multiply it by 12 and ask, would I pay this full amount today? If not, cut it or switch to a free version. In a minute, I'll show you the replacement rule that stops you from resubscribing 2 weeks later. Now let's talk food, because tight budgets usually break here. Most people try to save by buying cheaper. But the biggest savings come from waste and convenience. Here's a common problem. You pay for food twice. You buy groceries that expire. Then you order takeout because there's nothing to eat. So here's the fix. Build a simple emergency food system. Make 2 lists. List A is 8 to 12 default meals. You can cook fast. List B is 15 default snacks that prevent emergency takeout. This isn't a perfect meal plan. It's a survival system. Eggs and toast. Rice and frozen veggies. Pasta, yogurt and fruit. Sandwiches, oatmeal. Simple, repeatable, and cheap. Next, add 1 no-spend food day per week. Not a diet, not punishment. Just 1 day where you don't buy takeout, delivery, or convenience snacks. You use what you already have. Write this somewhere. 1 day, 1 rule. That's your savings starter. Now let's make a friction swap. Delivery is allowed. Only if you pick it up. Same food, less cost. And you still get the fun part. And if delivery became your survival tool during stressful weeks, that makes sense. We're not removing comfortware, just changing the method. Now, transportation. Another hidden monthly drain. Leaks happen in fuel, rideshares, parking, and quick trips that turn into spending trips. Here's a simple win. Combine errands into 1 trip. Because every extra trip creates fuel, cost and temptation cost. Pick 1 day. Do everything in 1 loop. And don't browse just 1 more store. If you use rideshares often, don't aim for 0. Aim for 1 fewer ride per week. Or set rules like rideshare only after 9 p.m. or only for airports and emergencies. The goal isn't removing options. The goal is removing automatic behavior. Quick recap. So far, we've targeted the quiet thieves: subscriptions, bills, food waste, and convenience. This is where tight budgets usually bleed. Now, the part most videos skip: lifestyle triggers, the money psychology part. This is why people save 1 month, then lose it the next. Use the 48-hour rule for non-essentials. If it's not food, rent, utilities, or medicine, wait 48 hours. Because the brain spikes excitement, then calms down. During the wait, ask 2 questions. What problem does this solve? And what's a cheaper way to solve the same problem? A lot of the time you wanted relief, novelty, or convenience, not the item. And if you've ever bought something and regretted it the next morning, that wasn't you being stupid. That was your brain buying a feeling. Here's the replacement rule. When you remove something, replace it with something that gives the same benefit: convenience, comfort, entertainment, social connection. Otherwise, your brain will rebuild the old habit. Let's do a quick scenario. Meet Sam. Tight budget, wants to save $500. Sam thinks, I'll just be strict. Sam lasts 9 days. Then work gets stressful. Delivery happens twice, and the plan collapses. New plan: the $500 stack. Sam doesn't do everything. Sam chooses a few moves. Cancel subscriptions. Downgrade 1 bill, 1 no-spend, food day. Pick up instead of delivery, and the 48-hour rule. Now, Sam isn't perfect, but Sam has a system, and systems beat motivation. Now, let's hit a few myths. Myth 1. Saving $500 means living miserable. No, it means removing the stuff you don't even value. Myth 2. Small cuts don't matter. Small cuts are what work long-term, because they don't trigger rebellion. And here are 2 traps: cutting fun entirely and not tracking wins. If you cut all enjoyment, your budget becomes a prison. And if you don't see progress, your brain thinks it's pointless. Here's your exact plan for this week. Pick 3. Cuts just 3. I recommend subscription sweep, 1 bill downgrade attempt, and 1 no-spend food day. Next, make savings automatic. If you save money but it stays in checking, it disappears. Set an automatic transfer on payday, a small amount so you remove decision fatigue. Now here's the 2-question test for what to cut first. Will I miss this in 30 days? And does this purchase solve a real problem or just a temporary feeling? If you won't miss it, cut it. If it's just a feeling, replace the feeling, not the spending. Mini recap. Your job isn't to cut everything. Your job is to cut the things you don't value on. Build a system that prevents relapses. If you're on a tight budget, you don't need shame. You don't need motivational speeches. You need a simple plan that works on your worst week. That's the $500 stacks more. Realistic cuts that add up, month after month. Because saving money isn't about being good. It's about building a life where your money stops slipping through your fingers. If you want more whiteboard-style money fixes that are practical and not preachy, subscribe to the Fiscal Fix. And next, I'll show you a simple paycheck system that makes saving automatic, so even if you're busy or stressed, your money stays on track.